With real estate sales up in the GTA, interest rates rising, and just recently sales data being made public, who knows what's going on with the Canadian real estate market? Well, personal finance expert Barry Choi is here now to share some tips on how you can save as a potential or new homeowner. Welcome back, Barry.
Thanks.
So let's go through the steps. Let's start with before you buy. You got to start saving.
Yeah. So let's be clear. No one can predict the markets, right? So I'm not here to say where prices are going, but I'm going to try to help you control your costs. So before the markets, if you think about it, you got to start saving first. Some basic rules. And, it's easy for me to say save 20% down so you don't have to pay CMHC fees, but I obviously understand that's very difficult to do these days.
Well, with pricing, yes, it's getting hard.
Exactly. But the point is you want to take that money and put it somewhere where it's making you money. That could be a high interest savings account. So that's easy to make a little bit of interest because if you're keeping it underneath a mattress or a common checking account, you're not making any money whatsoever. Again, I realize it's a small amount, but something is better than nothing. And people may not realize that if you're a first-time home buyer, you can qualify for the home buyer's plan, which will allow you to withdraw up to $25,000 from your RRSP. The trick is, though, you got to remember that money has to be repaid. A lot of people forget that. And if you don't repay it,
how long do you have to repay it?
You have 15 years. So if you're taking out $15,000, you have to pay $1,000 for every single year. You can prepay it, obviously, to get out of it early. But if you don't, it gets added to your income. So you actually get taxed on it. People don't factor that into their overall budgeting.
But you do get taxed on your RSP by the time it comes out anyway. So.
Well, it depends. I'm planning on being completely unemployed and in a very low tax bracket when I start taking mine out.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. You do get taxed on RSPs eventually as income. But this is one of those situations where you can actually take your money out, quote unquote, tax-free. Again, it needs to be repaid, but you're not paying if you're withdrawing for another reason. You usually pay 25% tax if you're withdrawing early. In this case, along with the lifelong learning plan, you can use it. Okay,
so let's go through then the buying process. You like a mortgage broker.
Yeah, it's crazy these days that people don't realize what mortgage brokers do. So if those unfamiliar, mortgage brokers, they literally deal with all the different banks and lenders. So they'll look at what you're trying to borrow or how much you need, and they'll shop around for you. So they go Scotiabank, TD, alternative lenders, find out what's the best rate possible. And the difference is if you go to, say, Bricks and Mortar Bank, you're basically dealing with their rates only. The irony is if all of a sudden you go to them and say, hey, my mortgage broker got me this rate, they'd be like, oh, I can match that rate. Well, why didn't you do that in the first place? Why are we wasting each other's time? But the reason I like mortgage brokers is just because they can really work with you to find the right product with you. Because even though they can get you the lowest rate, that may not necessarily be the best product for you, right? Because sometimes there's strict conditions. You might not be able to prepay it. You've got very fixed terms. It only lasts for 1 year. So obviously a home buying experience lasts a long time. It may last 25 years. So you want to make sure you've got the right mortgage product for you.
But I think a lot of people think that they get paid, so that there is a fee.
Well, everyone's getting paid.
Well, I know, but who pays them?
Well, the bank pays the mortgage broker.
Okay,
exactly.
right.
So it's true. People don't realize it. They're thinking that you pay the broker. That's incorrect. So whenever they get the mortgage, the lender pays them a commission.
Well, I have an insurance broker for car insurance and stuff, and I've found that's always been the best possible thing.
Exactly. You're letting them do the work for you, which is fantastic. Because then basically, hey, this is what I'm looking for. Tell me the best rate, and then they'll come back with you the product.
Okay,
available.
so what if the bank offers me $1 million, and I'm thinking, man, interest rates could go up. I should grab that $1 million.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I was offered, my wife and I were offered $1 million when we bought our first home a few years ago, and I literally laughed out loud. So, there's two ways of looking at it. You could go crazy. I got $1 million, I'm going to spend $1 million. That's great. But you need to keep in mind that you're going to have future expenses. Do you ever plan on having kids? How are you going to save for your retirement? Do you plan on taking vacations?
What about if your air conditioner breaks?
Exactly, right? Very, very good points there. You got to just make sure you're budgeting for the long term, right? You want to ensure that you've got, the amount you borrow now doesn't affect your long-term planning.
And also you want to make a decision about whether you want to be house poor for 30 years.
I've heard way too many stories where people max out their payments and all of a sudden they can't buy furniture.
Yeah.
So, and you should also, but with your mortgage, make prepayments when you can, as often as you can.
Yeah.
Some people I know pay bi-weekly.
Exactly. So normally mortgages are set at monthly payments by default, but he said to advance bi-weekly, which just means one extra payment per year. So you're paying 13 months instead of 12 months. You instantly shave 3 years off your mortgage just like that, right? And the actual out-of-pocket money is probably like only $100 a month. I'm sure you can find a way to find that money.
But also the fact that you're paying it 2 weeks early means there's 2 weeks less of interest on that little amount.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
So it all adds up. It's all,
Exactly.
Yeah,
you know,
compound interest
yeah.
works both ways.
Any extra payment you make goes directly to principal, so you're not paying interest on it. That's what I love.
Okay, so what about when you have your new home? You're saying you don't need to buy everything brand new.
Yeah, so that's the one thing for me. It's like, I have to admit that when I upgraded homes, well, when I bought my first home, I wanted all up new furniture. And certain places it made sense because I needed a new TV stand, new TV. But at the same time, think about what are you going to do with your old furniture? And a lot of people usually they'll give it away or donate, which are great things to do. But at the same time, you should actually think about selling some of your goods on the secondhand economy. I sold a lot of things. I sold my old TV stand, an old desk, even an old dining room table on Kijiji, and I ended up getting back almost $1,000. And if you look at the stats, it's crazy. If you buy and sell items on the secondhand economy, you could put up to $2,000 back in your pocket every single year. And like we were just saying, that could go towards your mortgage prepayment, right? When you're getting a mortgage, that's a huge expense. You may be paying rent before, but all of a sudden you're talking about insurance, maintenance, and other things that you may not have been ready for. So yeah, it's great and you want to get your home set up right away with the right items. But at the same time, you're right. Maybe just wait a little bit and see what's out there and maybe shop around for a few different items.
So where can people go to learn more?
For my personal website, you can go to moneywehave.com or follow me on Twitter at Barry Choi.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Anytime.
Well, she said she's magical, mystical, or a power.